Yo, checking in with you. Today, I want to talk about the internet, as usual, viral videos, and I just want to explain my view on the attention landscape and how I would recommend you try to think about it sometimes, and just what's at play on the internet. So, yesterday I was just scanning through my LinkedIn feed. On that I scroll quite heavily because the standard of the content tends to be a little bit higher than other platforms, just because in my view, I'm looking for the content that's going to add value back to me, and a lot of that tends to be business related. It's about learning, education, things like that, and LinkedIn's good for that because there's a certain precedent set on the platform that you can't just post any just random kind of thoughts day to day on it. It's got to be a little bit more polished, otherwise you're not going to get the feedback that most people want, which is engagement, value add, things like that. Anyway, someone had posted something about a viral video that they did and the fact that this was a good thing, and I watched the video. I didn't comment on it or anything, but to me it wasn't really any kind of value add. It was out of place on LinkedIn, I thought. Just my perspective. I'm not saying it's good or bad, just giving my view. And what I want to say here is, just because a video goes viral and a load of people watch it does not mean that it is worth your time and attention. In fact, I would argue against that and say, if everybody's watching it, you should actually think twice, because you always want to err on the side of being a bit different, thinking differently, doing stuff differently. There's a good quote about being on the side of the majority. If you're on the side of the majority, quite often, if you want to be different and do something extraordinary, you got to think about why am I actually there? Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that behaviour? I want to be out of that. I want to be thinking about different viewpoints, different ways in. And to do that, you often got to get away from just the humdrum, normal, gimmicky, attention-grabbing content that really doesn't have that full cycle that we're looking for, which is, you get the content, it gets your attention, it gives you value, you go away, you execute the value. And a lot of the time, viral videos, that's all they are, is a bit of a steal. Yeah, it's entertaining, it's funny. But the thing is that my wider point is you can spend your whole life watching viral videos. There's only so much time, and it will eventually there will actually come a point where you could take every video that is being dubbed to be viral. I don't know what that is. I don't know, over 10 million views maybe. It's all about context, right? I reckon 10 million views will be pretty standard in a few years' time. But you could essentially just lay out a whole load of viral videos that are attention grabbing, that are amusing, funny, whatever, and just lay them out as like one big video reel, and you could just feed a human being that for their whole life, and it would take up all their time, and it would give them some sort of like viral amusement, or whatever the kick is that the viral video gives, whatever the funny insight is that it taps into. But really, when you look at it, if you do want to be moving forward, if you do want to be doing stuff in life, you can't be spending your time on that stuff. And almost you have to be a little bit dismissive of it, that I'm not playing that game. I'm not interested in the thing that every single Tom, Dick and Harry's going to watch. I'm interested in the insights, in the actual small stuff that isn't being noticed, the undervalued stuff, the stuff that isn't just the bread and butter for everybody. In fact, it's something a little bit different. And just because, a very, very important point to make out of all of this actually is, just because everybody else is doing it, I know my mum and dad told me this all the time, but I didn't fully learn the lesson when I was that age. Just because everyone else is doing something doesn't mean it's right. In fact, always question it. The more people do something, the more you should question it. The more you should be like, well, is that the right thing to do? Is that actually, worth looking? It's got 5,000 likes and all this, and the comments are full and everything, and just think about it. Why? You don't know on social media if those 5,000 people have completely the opposite objectives, goals to you in life. They could be binary. You don't know that. There's so many people in the world that those people could be 5,000 hand-picked people that have like that. You don't know what their objectives are. Even if they're your friends, sometimes I don't really know, like, it's difficult really to pick into someone unless they're going to really open up to you and be like, this is what I want to do. Some of my mates, I don't really know what they want to get out of this whole thing. But and that's going to dictate what content they engage with. So even when I see a good friend engaging with something, it's not going to get my attention unless, you know, there's a specific set of criteria you got to pass. And yeah, it sounds like a ridiculous thing to be saying, but I believe in it so much that if you do not have these safeguards, these guardrails in place, you're going to be a pawn of the internet, being pushed around the chessboard by forces that you can't control. They're tapping into the way you're wired as a human, and it's going to be real tough for you to make any headway. So my advice would be set up the guardrails now, get things in place, and then slowly execute towards your goal. Have a cracking day.